Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD. And today we'll be reviewing chapter 327 of My Hero Academia. And man, if the rest of the chapters up to now have been feels chapters, this one has been a wholesome chapter. It was nice for us as both, the characters and the readers to just get a nice little breath of fresh air. It felt relieving, relaxing. So, if this is your first time here or you've been here before but haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe. Bang that bell. It would mean the world to me. Join my League of Otaku. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into the review. All right, guys, I'm going to try to speed review this chapter because my camera has been acting wonky. I barely made it through my One Piece review and I got to go to work soon. So let's do it. So chapter 327, My Hero Academia, Rest. And like I said, we have been getting hit after hit after hit of Fields chapters. And now we just get a chapter where we get to, as just readers, cool down, give ourselves a break from the Fields train and just kind of enjoy the characters and sympathize with Deku and what everyone has been experiencing. We have a nice lighthearted bath scene moment with all the boys in 1A, cleaning Deku, taking care of him. And you have a moment that I found to be super interesting and kind of wholesome when you have Bakugo acting like typical Bakugo, like, hey, there's dirt in the bathtub. I want you guys to use a different detergent and clean it. And what's his name's like, you haven't changed at all, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes to say Deku, but stops himself and says Izuku instead, because he always said Deku as a derogatory term. And he's not trying to be that person anymore. He's trying to be a better person. And so he's trying to use his name. And Deku's just like, nah, bro, it's cool. Like, you can say Deku. I've already changed the meaning. It means nothing to me. You don't have to try so hard. And he's like, I'm not trying hard at all. But I don't know. That was really sweet and really touching, and I like that. So after the bath scene, they all meet up in the dorms. Ukaku is passed out. She put up a lot of work with that speech, and she's been, working nonstop. So it's good for her to get some rest. Also, I noticed she wears gloves when she sleeps. So I found that to be really interesting. Maybe it's to prevent her from using her quirks while she's asleep. So I don't know. That was just a little something I noticed. Anyway, everyone wants to talk to Deku. Everyone wants to know what's going through Deku's head and whatnot. They want to know about his abilities of One for All. And honestly, let's be real. If you were friends with someone that had the powers of one of the strongest heroes in the world, you would want to know more about that too. And I would also be interested just in his journey alone. Like she said, how it goes from being quirkless to having an immensely powerful quirk. I love how the one dude's it literally broke his bones. So yeah, that part was super funny. And you have Shoto come out and he's like, "Hey man, Deku's tired. He's been through a lot. Let's do this a different day." And I just love how he comes doing the typical classical anime cool boy pose, hand behind the head, and Minata calls him out on it immediately. But they move on, and so they start talking about other stuff, and Shoto goes on to say that he feels partial. Well, actually, before that, I'm getting ahead of myself. Deku basically says that he can't sleep. He's been up thinking about what he did to All Might, and honestly, I love that moment of character. I love moments that are very, very organic to a character because knowing who Deku is as a person, if he didn't feel any remorse for how he treated All Might, how he just threw the food he made for him on the floor and continued, then the mangaka would be doing a terrible job representing a character that they've created, right? Sometimes mangaka forget quirks, no pun intended, of characters they create, and I'm just happy to see that he didn't at all. So I think it's awesome that right there you see All Might outside the window runs and he's like, Midoriya, young Midoriya, I wanted to apologize to you too. I let you down, blah blah blah, and I'm gonna fight with you. I'm gonna ride for you. I just think, oh yeah, their relationship is too funny. Honestly, if I could compare it to any, if I could compare it to any relationship in anime, it reminds me the most of all of what's it called? Guy Sensei and Rock Lee. So Mike Guy and Rock Lee. So their relationship is adorable. It's hilarious, and I love it. And you know they get their apologies off. Shoto, I think before that had a whole spiel about how he's the brother of Dabi, the son of Endeavor, and he has a lot of weight to bear, and he was trying to bear it himself, and he apologizes for that as well. So basically, everyone is just airing their grievances out. This is just a point where everyone is just trying to move on, move past everything that has happened, and just focus on the future, focus on being heroes, and focus on saving people. But right now, it's just all about recovery, so they have the ability to do so. So, like I said, really touching chapter. I do hope that this is the end of this, though. I hope that either this chapter or maybe one more chapter where they wrap things up, they talk about their plans, they discuss things, we find out what's going on here or there happens. But I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, no, don't get me wrong. This was great, and I don't have a problem yet. But I want to move on. I want to move on. I know I was arguing about pacing. That's cool. The pacing came to a sudden halt, and then we had the Fields train. Now we have the wholesome moments. Maybe one more chapter for some more exposition, and then let's move on to what we're doing next, right? Um, but yeah, that's about it. What else happened in this chapter? We learn we learn more about what's going on with All for One. That he's currently experimenting to create a perfect body to put himself in before the final showdown. Our heroes thought we had one more month at least to get the jump on him to prepare, but thanks to Stain, the hero killer's information, we know that they don't specifically tell us how much time we have left, but it's implied that it's not a lot at all. So I'm very excited to jump into things because it really does mean that this arc is coming to a halt, and whatever happens next, we'll be getting into. Oh, also, I know I said last chapter review that I don't think All Might is going to die, but the way he seems to want to fight alongside, the students makes you think, okay, you're clearly going to die because you're crazy. You don't have any powers anymore. Basically, you can only sustain your All Might form for like a second. It would be stupid for you to go. I'm assuming, maybe someone might have a mech for him or like some, support hero tools that can help him hang, but it just seems kind of asinine for him to get involved. He really needs to defer this to the people that are capable of, holding this, holding like doing these jobs. Maybe he should be kind of on like intelligence, maybe like, like Batman Beyond, where Bruce was talking to Terry through like an earpiece. That needs to be his role right now. He does not need to be involved. But part of me would think it would be cool if, like I said last review, if his time to die has long passed. There's been many times where like a major sacrifice would have been great for him, but maybe the last thing that Deku needs to like really fulfill the role is for him to die and the entirety of One for All to transfer over. I know that's not exactly how it works, but I could definitely see that being a way to get like a slight power boost and get like all his power. Because even right now, Deku is not touching the heights that I feel uh, One for All did. And I'm not sure if he will ever reach those heights. And more of his character arc and character story is relying on others and utilizing all the tools in his tool belt and all his allies. So we'll see. Speaking of which, Earjack gathers up everyone. And for a second, I couldn't tell who this was. I was like, who's this big titty MILF looking like, looking like, looking like I'm trying to make her trying to be someone's stepfather, but it's Momo, and I had Yao Yuzura. I forget her fucking name. But yo, she looks super different. I knew she was like bigger than them, but like in that panel, she just looked like a completely different character. Her hairstyle, she had her hair down. It was nighttime. So that was really interesting, and I love in the comment section. I wasn't the only person that felt that way, so that was actually hilarious to me. But yeah, they said that they want to do something similar akin to how they did during the school sports festival or whatever, where they now I don't know if she's implying if she wants to put on a show. I think that might be kind of corny, and I feel like that's not gonna really sway people that didn't want Deku there in the first place. If anything, If one thing I know about humans, they're assholes by nature. So it kind of would just make some of them go like, the world's in danger. You guys are partying, or you guys are like, take this seriously. Like, I don't know. That's kind of what it feels like. That's kind of what it seems like. So, so yeah. Um, I'm gonna leave the review here for now. I know this is kind of jumbled and all over the place, but I'm like in a race with myself to get this all off before the camera cuts off. So I think I did a good job of touching on all the bases of like what happened in this chapter. As far as predictions for next chapter, I'm really hoping we get a like wind up one. Maybe I don't really want Deku to have to explain one for all. Maybe do that off panel, but he may end up doing maybe giving them a little bit. I want him to talk to Okaku a bit. And I want them to start planning for the future. I also want to see what everyone has learned while they've been gone. I know we got a little bit of that during their confrontation with Deku himself, but I'm wondering if they know a little bit more. I want to see Deku develop the rest of his quirks some more. And I'm really curious about what the vestiges of all One for All did when they were like, there is something we can do. I don't think we truly ever found out what that was. So yeah, I'll leave it here for today. Anyway, if you like this review, please like, share, and subscribe. I promise they'll be better. I'm working on my time management skills and stuff like that, but they will keep getting better and better and better. Anyway, have a great day. Take care. This has been Otaku Talk. I'm your host, OD. Have a phenomenal day. Peace.